What's up everybody, my name is T-Grizzz and you're watching Tactical Friday. And in today's video we're going to take a look at the sights from the assault rifles. And these are the sights that you can apply to the submachine guns and assault rifles. And I think a couple of these can be attached to the LMGs as well, but I'm not certain of that. So what I'm going to be doing is going over these sights, and after we've gone through the clips, I'm going to give the stats, well, not really stats, but the things that I have seen. I will explain them to you and give my opinion at the end of it and what my personal preference is. So let's get started. The first thing you will see is right now, is the reflex sight on the MTAR. I use the MTAR because that's the gun that pretty much has all these different sights on it. So this is the ACOG, what you're looking at right now. And the next gun that is coming up is the target finder, as you will see in just a second. I'm just going over these because at the end I will explain what you can use and what you shouldn't use and all that stuff. So this is the target finder. When targets pop up, they will have a red diamond in front of them. And what you're seeing right now is the EO tag or the ED. I'm not sure if it's an O or a D, but I wrote down EO. So the EO tag sight, it's pretty much the holographic sight from Modern Warfare 3 and Modern Warfare 2. And the next gun that's coming, the next sight that's coming up is the hybrid optic. As you can see right here, it has two sights. You can switch between them with the L3 button on the PS3, and I'm not sure how the L3 button is called on the Xbox, but you can switch between them. So you get close range and long range. And the last you will see is the MMS. This one is can see through walls in the range of 25 meters, I believe. And when this clip is done, right about now, I will get into the specifics. So the reflex sight, the long range is, I wrote these down with pluses and minus. I think the long range with the reflex is plus minus because you can't really zoom, or you don't really zoom in with this gun, so long range stays a little bit difficult. Medium range, I gave that a plus because you could be more accurate with your red dot in the center of your reflex, so that's why the plus. And close range, I put plus minus because close range with a sight, it's always a bit tricky whether you shoot hip fire or should you use your sight. And the last thing I wrote down was you have much visibility when you are aiming down sight. A lot of these sights don't have that much visibility, but I will get into that in a second. And the next one is the ACOG. The long range, I give it a plus because with the ACOG you get a little bit of zoom in, so that's why the plus. Medium, I have a plus as well because that zoom in can be useful in medium range. And the last one, close range, I have a minus because the zoom in isn't that how do you call it, that practical to use in close range situations. And I have medium visibility because you kind of zoom in, so the rest of the screen you're probably not looking at that because that's taken up by the sight itself, and you're zooming in, so you're not as focused as to your surroundings, on your surroundings, as you would have been if you're not zoomed in. And next one is the target finder. Long range, I have wrote down plus minus because the target finder doesn't really zoom in. It blocks off the rest of your view, but it doesn't zoom in. All it does is make the enemies appear with a red diamond in front of them. And that's probably why they didn't add the zoom in, because that would be a little bit overpowered, I think. Medium, though, I put a plus because that's really useful in medium range. You get a clear sight on these on your enemies. And close range, I put plus minus because With this sight, this takes up your whole screen, so you don't have that much visibility. So close range, you are not that good off with this weapon. So that's what I last put down, is little visibility, because it blocks off the rest of your screen, so you don't you are not aware of your surroundings. Alright, the EO tech, long range plus minus, medium plus, and close range plus minus, and this is pretty much the exact same sight as the reflex, but the red dot looks a little bit different, and the overall sight looks a little bit different, but it doesn't add any zoom, so it's pretty much the same thing. And I wrote down medium visibility because it takes up a little bit more of your screen than the reflex sight. Onto the hybrid optic, excuse me. The long range is plus, because you can switch to your ACOG, and that gives you long range, more in-depth view zoom, I guess. Medium also a plus, because you can use your reflex sight on your optic to use your the gun at medium range. Almost filled right there. And the close range I put plus minus, because if you're using the reflex sight on this one, you are not that bad off at close range. And one thing I would like to mention is it's much to medium visibility when you have the red dot, or not the red dot, if you have the reflex on, you have much visibility, and when you have your ACOG scope on, it gives you medium visibility. And if you can choose between red dot, if you can't choose between the reflex and the ACOG, you should probably go with the hybrid optic, because you can switch between them. And yeah, let me see what I wrote down. Yeah, it's switchable, so you can switch them out. And as for the last one, the MMS, long range plus minus, medium plus, and close range minus. And that's because long range, it doesn't add any zoom. Maybe I should I'm going to change the close range, because close range, if somebody is behind a wall and you look through the scope, you can see that person behind the wall if they're not using the perk that counters it. But if they're not using this, you can see them. So close range, this could be useful. So the close range goes up to plus minus, I believe, because it's not always that useful in close range. But medium a plus, because it's a good medium range sight, and you can not spot people extra good, but yeah, it's just a regular sight at medium. Close range, it can be really helpful. And I put down much visibility, because it doesn't take that much of the screen. And that's my phone that's going off. And the last thing I would like to mention about this MMS sight, it has the wave. The wave comes after a few seconds. I don't know how many seconds exactly, but it can be useful if somebody's camping in a corner. You can look to the wall, or in a room through a wall, and you can see them sitting. And I believe it's up to 25 meters that you can see, or there goes the wave till 25 meters. And yeah, that's pretty much it, because yeah, I changed the close range to a plus. Yeah, definitely a plus, because you can spot those campers with your close range wave. So that's pretty much all I have to say about these optic sights, or not optic sights, about all these sights. I hope you guys found this helpful. If you did, please leave a like and a favorite. It is always really appreciated. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button on the left top on your screen, I believe it is. And other than that, I want to thank you guys for watching. Please share this via Facebook and Twitter if you can. It really helps me out, grow my channel. And other than that, I want to thank you guys for watching once again. And I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.